Yes, it's Wednesday, and it's the 1st of June, and it's been a very long, busy day, I think, for everybody in Ambit today for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I know it was for me. And we have Beth Newell on the line once again. She's had a successful Monday and Tuesday, and I certainly didn't wish for her to have a bad day or whatever, but she's kind of a little bit of a, someone who's kind of scoring a little too many points, and I'm running out of gold stars. So I'm very intrigued to hear how it's going to go. It's late as well. We're at 10:30 tonight. Boy, we've been busy bunnies. Have you been a busy bunny, Beth?
Oh, quite a bit, but that's how I like to roll, so it's okay.
Yeah. I like it. A busy bunny, Beth. I like it.
A busy bunny, Beth. The triple B.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, we've just got off a pretty marathon team call with Richard and Miriam Laidler, which was kind of interesting. And Beth was the MC for that call, and she did a wonderful job. So that was great. Hopefully, you have some brain space to share with us your two invites, and I think you had a presentation today as well. So I'm really keen to hear how you got on, lovely. How did you do?
Oh, it was a good day. It's a good day, and I got to tell you, Richard, I'm an athlete, so I'm a little competitive, so that's why I have to get another gold star. But I had two successful invitations. The first one was to Michael. He is a business owner, and actually a father of one of the youth that I coach at the triathlon shop that I work at, and was very open to it. I basically, told him I respect his opinion as a business owner and would really appreciate his feedback. May or may not be something for you, but I'd love to, share it with you and get your thoughts. And he was more than open. So we have an appointment tomorrow morning at 9:30 to show the videos.
Great.
And then,
were you in a hurry when you called in? Were you conscious of all of the kind of little things that we do?
Yeah, I was in a legit hurry, actually. So I did a presentation. I have 30 minutes for lunch. So I did a presentation with Carlos, who I'd called. I think I scheduled it with him yesterday, maybe. And there's a bit of a language barrier, and so it took us a while to get on the videos correctly and to do all of that. So by the end, I literally had 1 minute before I had to walk back in the door to work. So I was in a hurry. So it was a good call.
Okay, so all right, so we it sounds like we got two things there. We got the invitation to Michael, and then a presentation to Carlos. So let's cover the invitation to Michael first. You did the invite. He was open. You were in a genuine hurry, which was great. And you asked his opinion, which was awesome as well. Intentional about the time. Sounds like you did it absolutely perfectly. Again, with him being someone you look up to and respect, and entrepreneurial. Quite frankly, I like he would probably want it to be nice and direct and nice and clean. Sounds like you did a great job. Well done. So that's another score for us.
I do have a question for you, actually.
Yes.
So when approaching a business owner, is it okay, to say that you respect their opinion and would love to get their feedback on it? Or, because I don't want to devalue the business, but I also think it's a bit weird, a personal trainer who works with his daughter approaching him with I want you to take a look at this business idea. So is it acceptable to just ask for the feedback and, for him to take a look?
Yeah, what I try to do with business owners, or certainly, recommend to other business owners, because it's slightly different. You're 28, and I'm not in any way an ageist, but it is what it is. I'm 52 and a business owner. When I talk to another 52-year-old business owner, I don't know, there's an unspoken something, and it's like, I'm going to listen to you because you're a business owner. It just is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. Not always the case, but it is what it is. Your situation was very slightly different. You are entrepreneurial, the way you work and stuff. But what I do, or what I suggest my younger folks do, or employee types who are speaking to business owners, ask for two things. Is absolutely, I would love to get your professional opinion on something I'm doing. I'm new, I'm learning, and I would really respect, your thoughts on directions and this type of thing. But I would also then ask for referrals. What I am doing, it is growing very well in the Dallas area, and I need to build a team. And so while you're looking at it, I really appreciate you thinking about people who may be interested in something like this. Okay. Because then you've done two jobs. You've asked for an opinion, which at the end, if you say, well, what do you think, and he gives you his opinion, then it's not really going anywhere, because you didn't say, I'm going to show you because I want you to join. Right. Although that is out there, and if he's a business owner and he sees it, he'll tell you that. But if he's prepared to recommend it to someone else, then he's impressed by it. And I had this exact thing the other day for one of my teams who had introduced someone to take a look at the business on purely on the precept of opinion and recommendation with my instruction to say that. And love your professional opinion, but also I'm looking to build a team. It's growing really well here, and I need some good people to join my team. And so what happened was at the end of the presentation, the person gave their opinion. And, that anything, for me to try and twist it around to get them to join would have been, without a segue, would have been a little inappropriate. But the fact, then I said, okay, great. Well, also, if you remember, we were asking, we're looking to build a team, we're growing extensively in the area, and we're looking to build. And I said, do you have people in mind? And he said, yeah, that actually there's a such and such person and a such and such person. That immediately tells me he was impressed. Right. And he gave recommendations, and we came out with 3 good recommendations. And I said, well, I have to ask you the question, the fact you're referring it, I mean, I hadn't really thought about this, but is this something that maybe you would be interested in? And he said a flat out, no, not something I'm interested in, not something I would like to do. I'm very, very focused on what I'm looking to do right now. He postured very strongly, but we got to win. And I also got because I asked him for referrals, I got referrals, and I got the segue to ask him if it was something that he would be interested in. Because remember, I had asked for an opinion, and we got the opinion, and I got referrals, and then I was able to segue it around and say, you know what, I hadn't really thought about this, but if you're prepared to refer it, I wonder if maybe it's something, we're looking for some actual leaders in this group as well. Is it something that you would be interested in doing yourself? And he was a flat-out no. But that was fine because, we got some referrals and, I was able to ask him the question. It wasn't, because otherwise it's kind of awkward. If you're asking someone for what they think about it and then you say, well, will you join the business? There's something missing. There's a segue missing. And that was a way around that. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Okay,
makes
great.
A lot of sense.
Okie dokie, cool.
So I had one more invitation today. Do you want to cover that first before we do the presentation?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead, please.
Okay, cool. So the second invitation was to Lauren. She is an athlete/client where I work, and we've become actually good friends. And so I approached her more as just a friend that I can call and say, hey, listen, I want you to take a look at something. So I called her. I had just seen her like 20 minutes before at work, but I didn't approach her there. Gave her a call over the phone and just said, I don't think I've mentioned, because I really don't think I've said anything about having a part-time business. But, I'm working with something. It's helping me to add to my coaching so that I can continue doing what I love. And she knows I love to coach. Just want you to take a look at it. May or may not be for you, that sort of deal. So we have an appointment next week. She's out of town as of tomorrow, but she'll be back next week.
Great. Okay. Well, again, for the benefit of those on the call, I don't want to labor the point too much, but kind of break down how your invite went.
Yeah. So give her a call. Told her I was in a hurry because I had to jump on VMware's call in a minute. I asked her. I said, "Have I mentioned to you that I have a part-time business?" And because I couldn't remember, and she said no. I said, great. I started working with a part-time business a couple of years ago. She knows about how my Paul was sick, and just told her, it was a way to subsidize my income whenever I was helping to take care of him. And now my team is growing, and I'm looking to expand here in the Dallas area. I want to run it by you, see, kind of get your thoughts on it. It may or may not be for you, but I thought you might know someone that I should be talking to. And she was all for it and agreed to chat.
And how did you that perfect so far? And the final point was how did you show intentionality about the time to get together?
Yeah, so we're talking, my calendar's in the wrong spot. We are talking on June 10th at 12 o'clock.
Okay, great. But how did you get round to that? So you said,
I got you. So I told her, I said, I kind of anticipated, I didn't really ask for her permission necessarily. Just told her, I wanted to show it to her, but I said, I don't know what your schedule looks like. So are weekends good? Are evenings better? And she told me, she said, well, I'll be out of town until for the remainder of this week into next week. So next Friday would be a really good time because she gets off work early.
Perfect. And that was really good. Did you kind of sketch out your invite before you actually made the invite, or were you pretty comfortable with it already?
No, I had sketched it out on Sunday, so I looked over it. I more bullet pointed it. Is that okay? I always feel like very scripted if it's word for word, especially if it's a good friend. So I try to just put like kind of sentences that I want to make sure I include to stay on track.
Yeah, I'm not saying write it down and read it. I'm saying write it down and then be yourself. Remember that one overriding rule that cancels all the other ones out is to be yourself. No, you did it perfectly. Again, and I'm laboring the point for those who are listening is because there's a lot of people who don't have your level of confidence, and they, having a little bit of structure. And I love the way you said, I'm in a little bit of a hurry, but I don't know if I'd mentioned to you about that I had a part-time business. Lovely, really nice, gentle way into it. That was great. I can't fault you on that. Everything was great. I want you to take a look at it. I might have been a little bit more intentional about it. I'd love you to consider, doing this with me. But again, you know her better than I do. You're good enough friends for her to say, well, it was more by implication that you'd like her to join. But if not, you may know someone who is. That was lovely, really gentle. May or may not be your thing. Perfect and very intentional. Another gold star. I am truly running out of gold stars.
Excellent.
Okay, that's Michael and Lauren, and then you had your presentation. So why don't we just talk about that real quick?
Perfect. So Carlos called him. We had our time set up and got him finally onto the videos. And after they were done, he was very straightforward with the fact that it was nothing he was interested in. But he told me right away, because I had told him, may or may not be for you, but you might know someone I should be talking to. And so I asked him to think about, who else he might know who would be a good fit while he was taking a look at it. And so right after he was done, he said, absolutely nothing I would be interested in, but I think my sister would be perfect for it. So he is going to connect me with his sister hopefully tomorrow. I have to follow up with him. He was just going to clear it that it was okay to give her phone number to me, and I was going to contact her. And he's also sending me a copy of his bill to look at.
I'm writing a note down here saying, did she ask him to be a customer? And you preempted me. You are awesome. Oh, my God. Okay, I can't fault it. Again, we don't care what the outcome of the presentation is. We're excited if they want to join. If they don't want to join, that's perfectly fine. What we want is people to look. You hear that in all trainings from all trainers. You did that perfectly. I love how frank he was, and he came out and told you straight away, which was great. Sometimes people aren't as direct as that. But here is, again, for a little bit of coaching here, not that you need to be coached. You did it perfectly. The fact that you said, the point number 4, it may or may not be for you, is such, and you tell me what you think about that, whether it's conscious or subconscious, it really does protect you from the rejection. Because you said it may or may not be for you, that, you've kind of said, well, it's not for everyone, and I've given you the doorway out. Do you is it just me who thinks like that, or do you find that as well?
No, I've had to pull the ripcord a couple times with that one, actually. I've shown the business to some very aggressive people. One of them was a very high-powered lawyer who was very, very aggressive towards her belief that it was a scam and all this kind of stuff. And I was nervous at first, but I was able to tell her, listen, that's why I told you this may or may not be for you. It's definitely not for everybody. And it's clear that it's not your cup of tea or up your alley. And so then it's almost like she felt a little foolish or silly because she had her defenses up, ready to fight, as if I was going to, support. Obviously, I know and have a strong belief in Ambit, but I'm not going to try to fight with someone who thinks that they're right.
No.
And so, that was a huge blessing, actually, that I had set it up that way.
Great. Well, and so for those on the call, that takeaway, the point number 4 in the invitations, it's not there willy-nilly. It's for many different reasons. It helps you with your posture in the invite. And when you're starting to take something away, it gives you a little bit of power. It protects you from the rejection if someone does reject you, either gently or aggressively. It makes them feel at ease because you said, here's a nice big fat doorway open for you to walk out of if it's not your cup of tea. It's just so perfect, so beautiful. And if you know why you're using it, you'll be able to posture really well. And you did perfectly again. You just did perfectly. You did the presentation. He was a no. You protected yourself. You asked for a referral. You got a good referral. And he's going to give you his bill. Perfect. If I was there, I'd give you a big snuggle bear.
Oh, boy. Good thing you're not.
It's just a hug. It's okay. I don't have any diseases. I know I'm English and we have mad cow over there.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, great. So another fantastic day. Well done, lovely. Really, really good.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all the coaching. This is really, and the structure, that's been huge. Because I guarantee these last 2 days I would not, or 3 days I would not have been this productive with everything else going on. So I really appreciate it very much.
And you know what is also great as well is that even though I'm on the call as the coach, the more I do this, and I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but it's important that I do, it's really helping me become a better coach of the system as well. Plus, you came up with a great idea yesterday. Desiree came up with a great idea as well, is that people who are kind of in the firing line out there are experiencing this and coming back with great feedback. So I really appreciate that too. Thank you very much. So, okay, great. Well, do you have any other questions or thoughts you wanted to cover while we're on the call?
I think that I answered my question about my present tomorrow. And no, I think we're good to go. I'll have another 2 ready for you tomorrow.
Fantastic. You're the best. All right, lovely. It's very late. What is it? It's 10 to 11 at night. See how hard
it's way past bedtime.
Past my bedtime. Yeah, my mum would give me a smack bottom and sit to bed with no stopper.
Awesome. Well, you get your butt to bed, mister.
All right, lovely. Have a super night and have a good day tomorrow. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Richard. Appreciate it.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye now. Bye.